Here it is then, finally, you've made it through to Series 8 and one of the most now difficult to come series of the F1 Clash grind from Series 1 to Series 12. Series 8 does get very tricky indeed, and what we're going to do in this guide is we're going to bring you every strategy that you need to follow at the 4 circuits in Series 8, and we're going to give you your drivers, your setup, we're going to give you any advice as possible, and we're going to run through each 4 of those tracks. Now, Series 8 has took me a while to get through. We are currently doing this strategy guide walkthrough of each series on our free-to-play account. So really, we're trying to hold off as much boosts as we can. So that means it's taking us a lot longer to get through some of these higher series. Of course, the higher you go, the longer it takes to do the series. So basically, I'm probably representing a true free-to-player progression in this game. So welcome to the Series 8 walkthrough. This is exactly what we're going to be bringing you. This Series 8 called High Revs, and it is involving Jeddah, it's involving Miami, we have got a bit of Austria in there as well, and we have got Baku. But the key feature of this is all about speed. So you can see each circuit has a speed track stat, so that means you need full speed setups, and also we have got 1 overtaking track, 1 tyre management track, we have got 2 defending tracks. So you can slightly feature some more defense on your driver if you wish, but it depends on what you have available. Now let's flick into the strategies in terms of setup and drivers. And this series is all about going to get Epic Bortoleto. That is absolutely key to progression in Series 8, because look at his stats. They are really balanced, they are really nice. He's not great at race start, but overtaking, defensive, tyre management, he is covering all 4 of the circuits in Series 8. He is such a dream, and it's very tough to actually do without him. Now, I am rocking Behrman, who is good at overtaking and tyre management. I can't quite get coins for the second driver at the moment. Now, for you at home, I initially started with a bit of Lance Stroll, who is a rare form. You can look at someone like maybe a Lawson, but I'd also be rocking a Sainz, who is, you can see, not far away from being better than Behrman. The problem is coins are a bit of an issue. So if you can get Sainz a few levels, he will definitely be good enough. So I originally had Stroll and Behrman. I've obviously now got Bortoleto and Behrman for the time being. I would replace Behrman with Sainz if I had enough of the coins. Now on to car setup, this is what we are running. We have got a full speed setup, but it's not quite full speed, and the reason why is because we have obviously took a DRS. Now, whilst I didn't have Bortoleto, I made up for that difference with extra speed. So, for example, I had a very nice level power lift, which takes 16 more speed and 8 more qualifying, but the problem is you don't have DRS. So my recommendation to you is flick around with that rear wing and see how you get on. But really, for me, the circuits that you've got in this series: Jeddah, big straight; Miami, big straight; Austria, decent straights; Baku, big straights. If you can take DRS, I highly recommend it. It is absolutely vital. Now, we are going to do this guide without any boosts. 0 boosts are going to be used. This is the full 0 spend way of making sure you get through Series 8. So let's give it a go. Let's get your Series 8 guide off and running, starting with our first circuit. We're going to give you the strategy and where to push and conserve for each of these circuits. So let's go to Miami. This is going to be our first circuit to race in this Series 8, and you can, in here, go for a one-stop strategy. In the dry or in the wet conditions, it's all about doing, I feel, the free stint. We have got P8, P16. We're going to start on dries. It's going to be a case of Bortoleto on softs, Behrman on mediums, because Behrman just can't get those soft tyres on my level. Now, we got DRS, which is going to be a good feature of this circuit. Obviously, hopefully you might have a little bit stronger levels at home, but Bortoleto will often get a bad start. That is because of his race start difficulty, but if you've got a race start boost, always worth using on this circuit because you can get a good race start. Now, we are away and racing. We're going to push for most of this first lap. What we're going to do, though, is keep the hammer down, conserve a little bit, as you can see, and then attack back. It's all about just gaining those 1-2 percentages of the power unit. Rivals up into 7th. They're not pushing yet, but they're on the hard tyres. You can see we've got Behrman there as well. So Bortoletto 6th, Behrman into 8th. Conserve down the straight again. That's what you got to do. Every single straight is a chance to conserve. Don't worry if you go backwards a little bit. Let's see if we can get Bortoletto past here. And we can get him into 5th. Rival has gone for a bit stronger of a speed setup, I feel, because they don't have DRS. So we're going to conserve. If the Rival comes past, it's fine. And you can see they don't, but now we're going to hit a bit of DRS down this straight. There we go, into 4th place for Bortoletto. And remember, if you're struggling with the pace on DRS, try Powerlift on your car and see if you feel the benefit of not having DRS. It's always good to flip between those two rear wings, as we mentioned previously. So down the straight we go, second time again, making sure we conserve that power unit. You need your power unit for DRS usage or attacking in the corners. As now we're also going to be starting our pit stop for the only time in this race. As Rival goes back. Behrman's tricky on the mediums, but he can do a job. Now we're going to get push Bortoletto. We are going to push Behrman as well. Bortoletto's into 3rd. Here comes Behrman. This is why DRS is of use. And he's back into P8 now. So again, just conserving down. But also remember, when you go through these series, matchmaking is everything. Because you're racing a series which is full speed, it means that everybody is rocking pretty much speed. There's not really much variation in the setup. So on that basis, matchmaking is going to need to be your friend as well, especially for me on the free-to-play. We will lose races. Of course, we're not going to upload those losses because we want to show you how it can work. As Bortoletto comes out 7th. But be prepared, you're never going to win every single one. But really, you've got to get the strategy right. Use some boosts if you have to. And as long as you can, you've got to just give it your best shot. The game will determine your fate on a matchmaking. So 7th and 10th. Past Pierre Gasly now into 9th. We are ahead of the Rival, which is good. They are on mediums and hards. As we go into the final turn. Bortoletto just losing out, but I'm okay. I'm ahead of the Rival as it stands. And actually, we're back up into P4. Behrman. Can he get into the top 7? Ferrari of Hamilton coming out. He can. We've got more DRS for Bortoletto here. We're struggling on power unit a little bit. But Bortoletto going to try. Oh, I actually forgot to use DRS. No wonder we didn't have the pace there. But we'll use it next lap. We've got P2, P3 ahead of us. Behrman's probably got P7 max here. Let's conserve down. Again, move up to medium before the end of the straight. Can Bortoletto get into P3? Yes, he can. Behrman's lost out to Hamilton. I imagine Hamilton's on softs. And he is. So, kind of knew that was going to happen. And now down the straight we go with Bortoletto, sorry. In P3. Trying to get P2. Behrman's going to probably hold P8. He's going to get away. Can he get back past Hamilton? Running out of power unit though. And he does. He gets back into 7th. You can see Bortoletto's tyres just about had enough. And down the straight we go. It is a P3, a nice and easy free soft for Bortoletto. If you've got a better tyre management driver than Behrman, I would recommend going for the free medium. If you've got better tyres, go for the free soft. But that is a good win. In the wet, it's about a 3-3 in Series 8. And that is a nice race victory here in this circuit. We did have a lower team score matchup. It's all about the matchmaking, but remember, you've got to use the same setups and the same strategies because it's very hard to do anything different. And I'll show you that matchup. There you go, look, it was definitely in our favour. And we've got the 3-3 and the 3-3. Everybody one stopping. It's not a two-stop circuit. You have got, yeah, you can see the rival had a legend in there as well. And they actually had more speed than us. They wasn't rocking DRS. They had more speed than our car. But that DRS also helped us through as well as that beautiful Bortoleto. Race 1, Miami. We've showed you how it's done. And our second race of Series 8 walkthrough comes from Jeddah. The night sky lighting up the track with the lamps. It is time for a walkthrough of the Jeddah circuit. We don't usually get rain round here. It's going to be a two-stop strategy here at the home of Series 8. We're going to start one driver on the softs, one on the medium, and that is to make sure that we avoid double stacking. So we're going to get racing. We're going to do a 2 soft, 3 medium on Bortoleto. We're going to do the opposite on Ollie Behrman. Now, Ollie Behrman can just about get 3 mediums at this circuit. You've got to be a little bit patient as our good qualifying because of our car helps us into a good start. P5 and P6. You're going to push all the way down this first half of the circuit. Every time you want to absolutely push. You can make some good positions until about this section here. Once you come through here, it's about conserving down. Absolutely conserve. You don't want to push because you don't overtake. So absolutely conserve as much as you can. Before you come to the final corner, whack it back up to medium push. And as you get halfway down the straight on lap 1, hit the gas. And you can make some overtakes as there is 2. Now, you will be tempted to potentially use DRS here. Do not use it. Hold on to it because it is going to be so powerful down that back straight as Bortoleto is all over Russell. Rivals coming through. They've already used their DRS. Now, we get to that point again. Make sure to conserve. This is literally conserve, attack, every lap pretty much, every half lap. So again, back up with Bortoleto. He's going to come into the pit, so we could have used DRS to be fair, but we didn't need to. Now Behrman, you can see just on the edge of tyres, is going to come down with DRS. So naturally, if you start on the soft tyres, you probably do want to use that DRS somewhere on the second lap, but truth is, you're not really going to get many places to make it powerful anyway. Now Bortoleto does come out. We will hold it. And you can see we're doing absolutely fine here. And we're going to conserve again. Always conserve. I'm going to say it every lap. Just chill in this section of the circuit. You can see there we go, nearly past. And then conserve down. So Behrman, look, he'll get overtaken. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Your race is against the AI, not trying to do anything dodgy. Bortoleto then, DRS. This is where he's going to catch back up. Look at this for the speed. And that will see us into P4. Now we're going to keep pushing. Try and close the gap. We're going to push with Behrman too. Back on the mediums. Keep pushing this half of the track. Nearly into P3. We're behind the rival. There you go. Past the rival now. Conserve. And you can see rivals use DRS. They haven't laid a glove on us with DRS. Conserve again. Every time. Because DRS is going to be so powerful for you if you're taking it. Push off the final corner. A bit of DRS as well. And there you go. Into P2. Into P1 now. Behrman comes off the final corner. And he flies down. And look at the gap that he'll close. Now you can see P5. No boosts. And we've started well in this race. Where we got Bortoleto. Back to mediums. Conserve. Behrman's in a good position. He's going to get the mediums through nicely here. And finish on the fast tyre of softs. So conserve down. Bortoleto's going to come into the pits. And he's in now. Behrman, one more lap. But again, rinse and repeat. Here comes a DRS. Into 5th. Rival is out. And we're going to push straight away with Bortoleto. Try and get the position. There you go. Straight past into 6th. Rival will use DRS. It's not going to be successful down here. There you go. Conserve with Bearman. Conserve Bortoleto. Rival ahead at the minute. Does have to pit. No surprise to see Bortoleto absolutely bossing this race. Bearman comes around the final corner. 2 laps to go. Bortoleto's now going to power with DRS and he's going to power into P2. Look at that. He's trying to catch P1. Bearman comes out. And he's ahead of the second rival car, which is good. Again, push the half of the track. Gain on your rivals through this fast section. So, bang. Bortoleto conserve. Got no problem there. Trying to conserve as much as we can. Straight away again. DRS bound. And bound to take P1. There you go. Bortoleto into P1. DRS so effective. Bearman. DRS again. Not going to probably get any higher than P6. But we are, as you can see, going to take a very good victory and a very good strategy. Bortoleto being the key again. Bearman doing okay. Bearman tends to struggle on the defensive circuits. And Bortoleto now coming round. He's going to take victory. We're using DRS, well, using power unit because we've got no chance of catching anybody else. Bortoleto is going to take a stomping victory. And then Bearman is going to come home in P6 in the end. And that is a job well done at the circuit of Jeddah. It is nice and easy. A 2-stop, 2 soft, 3 medium, 3 medium. And do the opposite so that you don't double stack. Let's go. Nice and easy. That's all you need to do. We'll show you the setup so you can see we haven't changed anything. And what our rival was using bot as well. So 1022 versus 1038 on that one. We had the strategies. Look, you can see it's pretty much 2-stop. You're not going to get a 1-stop around here. You have got Damon Hill and level 2 Bortoleto. Obviously good. It's okay tyre management for Hill, not amazing. And then the car, well, there you go. That is why you have to go speed. Because in the end, we took the victory having that 18 more speed. It's not a lot, but it still did the absolute job for us. Get in. Another circuit to go to is Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan. Let's go. Let's show you the strategy of this 7-lap race. And there's 2 strategies that you can do around here. You can do a 3 medium, 2 soft, and the opposite. We're going to pretty much focus on a very strong 1-stop if you can get it. Now, this is a wet start. It could be a dry race as well. You're going to probably struggle to get 4 laps on the wet conditions. So, let's go to the race screen. Now, in the dry, I would run a 3 medium, 4 hard. And a 4 hard, 3 medium. That is a very solid 1-stop strategy. Now, in the wet, you're going to find that you're not going to have amazing tyre management to try and get the 4 laps on the wet tyres. Bortoleto will probably be able to. If you're using Bearman, you're most likely not going to. But what we'll do is you need 25% tyre usage a lap to get 4 laps. So remember that key stat. As we race on, hard, our setup with our extra bit of qualifying helping in here as well. So that's why we start so well on the grid. We've got 2 drivers which are decent at qualifying. Now Bearman comes down the straight. You can see Bearman he's on 72% already. Bortoleto might be able to sneak you if you've got him level 2. But remember, you've got to use DRS as well. So again, most of these cars are probably going to do a 2-stop, but stretch 1-stop a couple of them. So we're going to push on. Now, as long as you've got through the pack, 2-stop will be fine anyway. Because you'll have speed. As Bearman comes through. Bortoleto Bang there. He's going to concede position, but he's okay. And you can see Bearman's tyres, Bortoletto's tyres. Yeah, you're going to be two-stopping most likely in this. So down we straight we go again. Conserve every time, or use DRS if you have it. You can use DRS on this straight, or you can use it on the next straight here. So what I'm going to do now is our race is against the rivals, so I'm going to save as much as I can. Now really, if I'm going to come into the pits that lap, you might want to actually use a DRS already. So do consider that. And also one way to do it is if you are starting at the back in Series 8, you want to make sure that you pit on lap 2 and lap 5 if you're going to do a 2-stop, because everybody is most likely coming into the pits on lap number 3. You can see Bortoletto, nowhere near enough tyres, and he's level 2. So into the pits we shall come, and you'll get the AI coming. If you're taking a tyre boost, 1 stop, you will win every time in the wet, if you've got the tyre boost. But Bearman comes back out. And Bortoletto is in P2. I'm going to use DRS straight away here because we can absolutely just pull a gap now. That is a great result. Easy. So that's what you've got to consider. Do a 3-2-2. Or easy. I mean, you can't do that because it's literally 7 laps. Do a 2 wet, 3 wet, 2 wet if you want to do the undercut from the back. And just do a you can do a 3-3-1 or a 3-2-2, whichever way you want to go. I might do the 3-3-1 on the basis that the rest of the field is really stretched out. That is completely up to you. As Bortoletto comes around. And look at the gaps we've pulled. Nicely clear. Bearman, absolutely fine. If you're in the lead, you're going to be laughing. Just going to conserve where we can. Get a bit of that power unit back. Conserve down the straight. We obviously don't want to double stack, but we're not in really range. Now, Bearman is that far clear that I am, or could, potentially pit him. I'm not going to, because obviously make sure you can get mixed weather conditions around Baku, and you can see it is getting drier. So really, I'm going to extend this. Probably come back for some, maybe soft tyres. And the rest of the AI are going to go to softs anyway. So actually, we're in a pretty good position here. Softs will go to, it's going to be about 20% probably by the time we come out of the pits. So do watch out for those tricky changing weather conditions when you race this circuit. But in we come. Oh, Hajar's broke down. That's going to make sure we are going to double stack. That is a horrible breakdown. Horrible. And in we come. That is going to make us double stack like crazy. Now, you are going to get a couple of cars that are going to go on. They are going to run out of tyres on the home straight. Now, the crossover for the dries is about 10%. So you're going to struggle initially. That's a little bit of a tip for you there. But don't worry, because everyone's going to run out of tyres and we're going to start to fly through. So you'll see they just can't get the tyres to 4 laps, these AI or real players. So there you go, into P3. We now start motoring. As soon as it goes down, we're going to get to 0. It's going to be game over. Albon runs out of tyres on the final corner. P1 has ran out of basically any tyres also. And then we're going to hit the boost. And we're going to make up a load of positions. We're going to make it back to P4. Bortoletto's going to take it. And he could have stayed out and held on. But in the end, there's no point trying to risk anything. We were done dirty by Hajar breaking down into that pit lane. So sometimes you can get some incredibly bad luck. But in the end, it didn't cost us, luckily. So, job done on that one. That was our matchup for Baku. Conserve down the straight, attack using DRS as well. And you can see there, everybody pits lap 3. That is why a lap 2 pit stop is really good on wet conditions, especially if you're going to do a 2-stop. A lot of them will, obviously with softs, go to a 2-stop. Those that go 1 stop will always run out of tyres down the back straight. So don't give up. you can make some really good positions. Now, level 5 Albon for that one, and a level 3 Bearman for the rival. And the car, again, lacking some speed. I don't know why people do it, but in the end, we got the job done with our strategy. Circuit, our final circuit of this Series 8 walkthrough guide using our zero spend accounts. No boost being used. It is Austria and Spielberg, the two-stop strategy. We're out qualified, but let's show you how to do this. We're going to start both on the soft tyres. I'm going to explain why, because we're not going to be double stacking. We're going to be very smart with this strategy. So, Bortoleto, because he's level 2, can just about get 4 laps on the soft tyre. Bearman, because we're using him and not Sainz with the levels and the coins that we've got, Bearman cannot do 4 softs. He can only do 3. So we're not going to be double stacking. We're going to be pushing, but we're going to look after Bortoleto probably after about lap number 2. So as we get racing, we're going to push as much as we can on this lap 1 and try and make up some good overtaking positions. And as you can see, we've already got up to P9 and P10. A little bit worrying that we haven't got past the rival yet. But we're going to conserve down where we can. It's all about gaining power unit down to these straights. Bortoleto, obviously with the higher defensive stat, has now got ahead of the rival. Our car, sorry. Now we're past 2 cars. And we just get a little bit stuck trying to get past the next one of Leclerc. Now we're through. But you can see Bortoleto 50% on the final 2 corners, which means he needs to look after some power unit. Bearman has got a nice train of cars behind him. But again, we're just going to conserve power unit. And now we start closing up. Bearman's doing a decent enough job at trying to hold some cars up. But let's see if we can get Bearman back past. We can. And let's push him into pit. Now, this Bearman in front of me will pit and use DRS. But we're going to conserve down because we've got the 4 softs. That is crucial. We might use a little bit of DRS here as we come down P5. Push DRS and conserve with Bearman, who comes out. Now we'll hit that one. And then again, just coming into pit then, lap number 4. And we just get the 0%. Just get the 0%. Conserve down. Bearman 10th. He'll come back. Now Bortoleto will come out in P number 6. And he's got a great position. Now he can fly. Won't have DRS. Well, he will, but we're not going to use it. We're going to just cruise up now. We are going to wait on Bearman, though, because Bearman's got to go mediums. I want to give him a little bit of power unit for that medium stint. And now Bortoleto we can absolutely push because he's in P5. And it's P4 for Bortoleto. And again, just can hit the old DRS when we can. Bang. Did it a bit late. And again, Bearman's going to have to come in then. From P7. Bortoleto's in P2, absolutely flying. And he can pit next lap if he wanted to, but we'll pit him this lap. And this is going to be probably a job done because Bearman's going to get out ahead of one of the rival cars. Not going to quite have DRS. I want to save it for this straight every time. But we can use a bit. And in he comes. Final pit stop for Bortoleto. He's going to be clear. Way clear. And that is why the 4-3-3 works really well for Bortoleto on his levels. And he's got DRS to match as well. Should get into 4th. Bearman struggles at this circuit because of his low defensive stat. But he's doing a job for us. I would prefer to use Sainz, but I don't have the coins for the upgrades. And now Bearman is going to get himself back into P10. We've also got the rival ahead of us on the hard tyres. And all we've got to do is keep the gaps here. And it will be our series number 8. Absolutely smashed with some good strategies. We've had to have some decent matchmaking to try and overcome though as well. That is part of the game. You will win, you will lose some. As now then, Bearman comes through. Bortoletto starts the final lap in P2. We could catch the rival as well if we wanted to. But out of the final turn 3, last lap, Bearman is nearly all over the rival to try and get P9. And he does now get P9. Well, he did, until we conserved it. Here comes the rival as well. But into P9 we go. Bearman with a bit of DRS. Bortoletto is going to complete Series 8. The absolute machine to Series 8, Bortoletto. Bearman on the defensive tracks will struggle, but he is going to work out okay in the end for this one. Bortoletto is your key to a good result. He comes across the line. He's going to take P9. It's going to be job done in this Series 8 strategy guide, the longer-awaited Series 8. But again, remember, it is tough out there for this account. We are trying to get through as quick as we can. But let's show you the strategies to set up the drivers that we had as well. Good matchmaking, of course, is a massive help. It is. 2-stop all the way through. Level 6 Stroll with a 10% as well. Bearman the same, well, just one level below. The car, I don't know why everyone's going cornering. Seems really weird, but we got the job done and some big points. Series 8, we are well on track. Into Series 9, let me know what you think. Hope this helps, but Series 8 is absolutely complete. And now our free-to-play account is going to move to Series 9. Next up is your Series 9 walkthrough pack leader, where it looks to be a bit of cornering and some, what is it, cornering and let's just quickly say, cornering and defense in Series 9. Bring it on.